In today's news, Arien Fahie wanted for questioning in the murder of Corey Butler and failing to pass the Register of Interest Act by the deadline date is not a matter of grave concern, says Governor. And Governor and top cop accused of lying about the police in Paradise video, and the BVI Health Services Authority relaxes visitation policy. And this coming weekend, we see one VI poker run set to sail. Well, these and more stories when 284 News return.
Yo, everything good, Dad?
Aye. This thing got me one way, Daddy.
What do you mean?
Ever since I hook up with this thing, can't eat, I can't sleep. This is the first thing I touch it when I reach home.
What do you really? Hey, this ain't like you, know?
Dad, this thing got me staying home, keeping out of trouble me.
Wow. What your name is?
Shit. I talking about my CCT life.
Don't worry about missing your favorite series, sports, news, and local programming. Come to CCT today and sign up for CCT Live to access over 80 channels. CCT Live. Bring it home.
1 month free trial turn into 5. 5 months turn into, well, you know I hustle. I watching ball. I been watching football. Dad, Nickelodeon, Paw Patrol. I am hooked. Hook, I tell you.
Welcome everyone. It's Wednesday, July 6th, 2022. I'm Kamal Haynes, coming to you live from the beautiful British Virgin Islands. I want to thank you all so much for joining us. Well, we start today's newscast with a wanted bulletin in connection with last month's murder. Well, viewers, the Royal Virgin Islands Police Force is seeking the public's assistance in locating 26-year-old Arien Fahie, who is wanted for questioning in the recent shooting death of Corey Butler. Well, the police made the appeal in a media release on Wednesday, July 6th. Well, Fahie is described as being slim-built, between 110 to 160 pounds, approximately 5'6" in height, dark skin, and was wearing dreadlocks when he was last seen. The police said he is known to frequent the Crab Lot, aka the Ghetto, Bogus Bay, and the top of Bellevue Hill. Where the Royal Virgin Islands Police Force is asking anyone who has information on Fahie's whereabouts or has seen him since the June 21st murder of Butler to contact the Major Crime Team at 368-5682 or the Royal Virgin Islands Police Force Intelligence at 368-9339. Viewers, Fahie is now the second known person to be associated with the murder of the late Butler. Well, viewers, as you would have remembered last month, just days following the murder, police charged Bellevue resident Akeem Durant with Butler's murder and robbery with possession of a controlled drug with intent to supply was his additional charges. Well, Butler was wounded in the Scatliff Alley area in the early evening hours of Tuesday, June 21st. He was pronounced dead shortly after his arrival at the Dr. D. Orlando Smith Hospital. Now moving on, viewers, where Governor His Excellency John Rankin has said that the National Unity Government's failure to pass the Register of Interest Act 2022 by the June 30th deadline is not a matter of grave concern. Well, Governor Rankin made a comment at a recent press conference after Premier Dr. the Honorable Natalia Wheatley confirmed that the bill had not yet been passed. Well, the governor said concerns would have only arisen had there been a deliberate attempt by the government to frustrate the process of passing the bill.
I very much welcome the fact that the bill was introduced in the House of Assembly after agreement in Cabinet. But I also recognise it's quite a big bill, and that the consultation which the Premier in the House of Assembly thinks is necessary is perfectly sensible. So the fact that as of the stroke of midnight last night, the Act had not been passed, I don't think is a matter for great concern. What's important is that everyone is committed to having a public register, and that requires a little bit more time for the consultation. Then I, as Governor, fully understand that. I recognise the approach that has been taken, and it's only if there's a sort of deliberate attempt to frustrate what's being agreed that concerns would arise. But I have no reason to believe there's any such attempt in this instance, and I understand and recognise the approach which the Honourable Premier has outlined.
Well, Premier Wheatley assured the public that he is fully committed to ensuring the Register of Interest Act is passed and becomes public.
We introduced it, and we actually started the debate. So perhaps one or two members spoke. But then we recessed, of course. There were a number of events taking place, graduations, meetings, etc. And we also would like to give an opportunity for the public and for public servants to take a look at the bill. Since it was introduced yesterday, it has become a public document. I see it's been in circulation on social media, and of course I think it's in the best interest of public servants to read the bill, and of course to speak to your representatives in the House of Assembly so that your contributions can be taken into account during the committee stage of the bill.
Well, the bill was met by some backlash from members of the public after 284 News revealed that the new bill will now require a much broader category of persons and their immediate families to declare their financial interests. Well, Premier Wheatley, in responding to a question posed on the backlash, highlighted the importance of those with concerns and other residents voicing their respective views on the subject matter. He said this will contribute to the changes that will be made during the committee stage of the bill.
It's important because we're having a debate in our society. Even prior to the COI, we're having a debate about good governance, transparency, accountability, and there'd be many persons in the community calling for this information to be public. Of course, persons who are in the positions have, of course, their concerns, but we've heard overwhelming sense from the public that the public wants transparency in this particular manner, and persons who are in particular areas of responsibility, as I said in the House before, I guess are almost judged by a different standard as it pertains to transparency and ensuring that persons have integrity in public life. So it's not a new thing, the discussion about public officers, particularly senior public officers, having to register. And I would say this is why it's important for everyone when we have these discussions, like about integrity in public life, about registers, to be fully engaged in the process and to let their views and their voices be heard.
Well, viewers, the delay in the passing of the bill came immediately after 4th District Representative Honorable Mark Vanterpool urged the government to slow down the process. Well, he said it needed proper consultation with the public and those who will be directly impacted by the new legislation.
Let's make sure we understand what it says. And let's make sure that we know who it's binding on. Is it this house or the next house? And let's make sure that we understand who are these persons in public life that this bill refers to, and let those persons have a chance to weigh in on this bill. And let the public have a chance to weigh in. And the public, most likely, because of, everybody wants transparency. Everybody wants to know what members of the House of Assembly are doing, what's their involvement, what are their assets and so on that may be a conflict of interest, which is the right thing.
Well, viewers, up next, Governor and top cop accused of lying about the Police in Paradise video, and the BVI Health Services Authority relaxes visitation policy. Well, these and more stories afterward from our sponsors.
You value traditions. Today. You value music. You value education. Family. I love you. Service.
Thank you. You're welcome.
Love. Life. At Popular, we're committed to you and everything our community values. For the things you value the most, count on us. Popular.
So you're saying I can ask this cat any question?
The cat is connected to the computer. You just type in the question, it will read his mind. There the answer comes.
You're the man! I've been looking for this for weeks.
Hello?
Wait, you had a long time again? You don't say you were sick? Why haven't you already rehearsal?
No, babe. I'm actually watching the news right now. Take a listen.
Topping our newscast today, UFOs seen around Tortola Pier Park.
And District 3 residents outraged over no water supply. They simply cannot bathe. These and more stories when 284 News returns.
All right, babe, just get some rest, take 2 Advil, and I'll see you later. Bye.
Okay, honey, I see you later. I love you.
It's clear to see that Coconut Lounge is a place to be, the coolest cocktail lounge in the British Virgin Islands. A lounge like no other, with welcoming, professional service, and a breathtaking ambiance. Not forgetting a diverse selection of wines, beers, and signature cocktails. Cozy, comfortable, contemporary. Coconut Lounge at Tortola Pier Park. Visit us today.
Well, welcome back, viewers. Well, Governor of the Virgin Islands, His Excellency John Rankin, CMG, and Police Commissioner Mark Collins have been accused of lying after being caught in a number of conflicting statements regarding the Police in Paradise video. Ron Grant has that story.
Governor of the Virgin Islands, His Excellency John Rankin, CMG, and Police Commissioner Mark Collins have been accused of lying after being caught in conflicting statements regarding the Police in Paradise video. In a recent statement, the BVI Tourist Board has addressed claims made by the Governor of the Virgin Islands, His Excellency John Rankin, CMG, at a recent press conference on July 1st, 2022, alongside the Premier and Minister of Finance, Dr. the Honorable Natalio D. Wheatley. Concerning the highly controversial filming of the recently leaked Police in Paradise video, Governor Rankin said, and I quote, "My understanding is that there was some consultation with the tourist board, but I don't have the exact details of that." Rankin added, and I quote, "Obviously, if any crimes were committed, then that should be investigated properly, but I've got no evidence to believe that is the case." Police Commissioner Mark Collins had said, and I quote, "While permission was sought in advance from the relevant authorities specifically for the intended purpose, this raw footage in circulation lacked an introduction and a conclusion and was never intended for public consumption." However, the British Virgin Islands Tourist Board and Film Commission has since said that the agency first became aware of the Police in Paradise video when it went viral in local chat rooms and on social media last week. The statement stated, and I quote, "We are not aware of when the footage of this production was shot, as there was no record of permission being sought. Furthermore, the BVI Tourist Board did not issue a film permit to allow the filmed content from the video to be captured in the territory." Director of the BVI Tourist Board, Mr. Clive McCoy, said, and I quote, "I can confirm that the Royal Virgin Islands Police Force did consult with the BVI Tourist Board 4 years ago in 2018 about a similar project. However, no approval was granted and we were not in favor of the proposed project. The BVI Tourist Board does not have any record of consultation being made regarding the filming of the Police in Paradise video, which has been recently circulated. In fact, the BVI Tourist Board first became aware of the project when, along with the entire community, we saw the video being shared in WhatsApp messages and on social media platforms." McCoy added, "I would like to reiterate that we are not in support of this video as it negatively portrays the territory." In a press conference on July 1st, Governor Rankin stated that he accepted the apology issued by Commissioner of Police Mark Collins and said, and I quote, "The lesson to be learned from this is that in the modern age, as soon as something gets put on a video and it's available electronically, the risk of it being more widely available is high." Residents of the Virgin Islands, however, have rejected the Commissioner's apology, calling it a direct and deliberate attack on the Virgin Islands at an already worrying and traumatic time. When the video first circulated, the Royal Virgin Islands Police Force initially said that the video was created for recruitment purposes, stating, and I quote, "The complete video entitled Police in Paradise, which is now in circulation, was intended to be a tool for recruiting officers from the Caribbean and the UK, and aimed at capturing the benefits and challenges of policing in the BVI. Now, the said statement on recruitment has since been in question and proved to be false. However, residents continue to question the motive behind the video and its damaging effect on the Virgin Islands and its tourism product. For 284 News, I'm Ron Grant.
Well, thank you, Ron. Well, moving on, viewers, where the management of the BVI Health Services Authority has relaxed the visitation protocol for all visitors. In consideration of the decrease in cases, as well as the ministry's decision to gradually ease the restrictions associated with the COVID-19 protocols, it was decided that the BVI Health Services Authority will introduce semi-normal visitation at the Dr. D. Orlando Smith Hospital. What this means that there is no longer a requirement for a negative COVID-19 test in order to visit. But the BVI Health Services Authority said they have adjusted the visitation numbers, making it possible for as many as 6 guests for the duration of each admission. However, they said only 2 persons will be allowed to visit at once. But the authority also informed that client services will continue to screen all visitors for symptoms of potential exposure to COVID-19. While they said those who screen positive for any symptoms will not be allowed to visit regardless of vaccination status. Well, management also reminded residents that the mask mandate is still in effect at all BVI Health Services Authority's facilities and stated that each visitor must wear a face covering or mask that fully covers the nose and mouth at all times during their visit. But the BVI Health Services Authority also informed the public that no person will be allowed to visit the COVID-19 isolation unit except for extenuating circumstances. Well, up next, viewers, one VI poker run set to sail this weekend and trouble inside the UK government as 18 resign within 24 hours. We get to those 2 stories after a word from our sponsors. You're watching 284 News.
There's a reason you get up on a morning. A reason you pick yourself up, start the day. Maybe it's sheer grit. Maybe it's your ethics. Maybe it's because you know people like you are waiting for people just like you. We all have our reasons, and for Republic Bank, that reason is you. Every little thing, every big thing. It's all about making a difference in your life. Because after 182 years, if it's one thing we're sure about, is that the difference is you. We're here to help.
Republic Bank, we're the one for you.
The beautiful Virgin Islands, or nature's little secret as some prefer, where the weather stays warm and the drinks stay cold, where men in wigs get their lawyer bills paid by governments and governments lose planes, where walls are built and prisoners escape. You vacation where we suffer. BVI Love.
Is business slow, cash flow down, hosting an upcoming event? We can help. Advertise with 284 Media and take your business or event to the next level by enhancing your present marketing and messaging strategies. Allow our team of experts to create a personalized ad that sets your business apart from all the rest. This could be your business or event. So, what are you waiting for? Contact our marketing team at 284media@cctbvi.com. Advertising with us works.
Well, welcome back, viewers. Well, the wait is over as the One Virgin Islands Poker Run returns this weekend from Friday, July 8th to Sunday, July 10th, 2022. Well, the storms of 2017 and the COVID-19 pandemic interrupted the well-established poker run, and since then, the call for the activity to return has been tremendous. Well, our multi-point survey revealed that 6 in 10 people had been to a poker run, and 6 in 10 people either desired to return to one soonest or are likely to return to the event when it resumes. Well, the new poker run is expected to guarantee the fun and excitement of the traditional poker run, but doubles the winning amounts with $20,000 in cash and prizes. Well, recently, founder and chair of the One Virgin Islands Poker Run, Dr. Michael Turnbull, and organizing committee member, Mr. Akeem Pickering, sat down to speak about the event.
What's important to me, the events are great, but I have to, our poker run is about a cause.
Of course.
And why we're doing this. So, myself and the initiative why we're doing it is to make an impact in our community, especially in the area of education and health. So what we've done is that we've partnered with 2 schools. The first 2 schools that we're selected is the Ivan Dawson Primary School and the Enid Scatliff Primary School, and we're making sure we make a significant impact. So what we're doing is donating 2 smart classrooms to these 2 very worthy schools. And we're making sure that the children, when they come back in September, have access to computers, a high-speed internet as provided by CCT, and also a smart classroom, a smart board for the teachers to be able to teach in a more efficient way. So our goal is around 60 computers, 30 per school, 2 smart boards, and we're gonna make sure that they have high-speed internet for a year. Now, our goal is to continue to do that throughout all the schools in the Virgin Islands, all the public schools in the Virgin Islands, so every child has an opportunity to learn in the best way possible using technology. So this is why we're doing it. And also we're gonna be impacting the Autism Center and other needy causes to help us promote health and wellness throughout the Virgin Islands. So that's why we're doing it. A poke around with the car. So we're leading with the heart. So we want to make sure that you come out, every hand you play, every merchandise, every shirt you buy is going back to help us fund this very much needed cause. And our committee is gonna make sure that we deliver on that and make it through to the end. Not just buying the stuff, but having it totally installed and ready and retrofitted for our children when they start back in school. So you are coming out, and that's why we're doing all of this.
Well, one of the most exciting features of this year's poker run is the route. Well, Mr. Pickering, he took some time to explain the route.
So as we move on now to the run from King Garden Bay, we're going on to Jos Van Dyke, Foxy's Taboo. That's not a long stop, but we do encourage everyone to ensure that we support the establishments at each and every single stop. After Jos Van Dyke, we're gonna have a pretty distant journey, Brother Mike.
Well, that's the fun part of the run, right?
Of course.
I mean, we could be honest. People always ask, and we batted this around the team, going from Jos Van Dyke to Blunder Bay. Ron, that's gonna be an amazing sight. So if you're on the north side of Tortola, you could see some amazing captions of some boats running along that coast. So this is a good time for you. It's not a race, but I'm sure some of the bigger boats and faster boats are going to get up in some nice speeds as well.
They will, and we encourage all of the bigger boats and those that intend to travel at a relatively high and safe speed to please take the outside part, heading up on the north side, so that the smaller boats who will probably be going a little bit slower and also trying to be able to get the best of the waters, they will be on the inner side. After we arrive to Blunder Bay, that's going to be a nice little stop again. I know many of us have not seen Blunder Bay since they have opened. It's a very, very nice, new, modern restaurant, and we encourage, once again, everyone to support the establishment. After the Blunder Bay run, we're going to be heading back down south, and we're stopping at Loose Mongoose. That's going to be the lunch stop. So we're going to have a buffet lunch there. And also, I mean, some persons may wonder, okay, does Loose Mongoose have enough parking for all of the boats? And we have partnered with Trellis Bay Market, and we have also been granted permission to park some of the vessels there. We encourage everyone that has parked at Trellis Bay Market to please ensure that you support that establishment as well. These are all our partners on the poker run. It would not be a poker run without them. And so we encourage you all. After Loose Mongoose, we're going to be heading back down to Cyril B. Romney Tortola Pier Park. That's going to be stop number 4.
Yeah.
Yes, Cyril B. Romney Tortola Pier Park. We're going to have some fun there. We're going to have some enjoyment. We all know what the Pier Park offers. And then after that, we're going to be swinging back around on the north side, back into King Garden Bay.
Well, viewers, moving to our final story on the international scene, resignations continue to mount in the United Kingdom, with the Boris Johnson-led government receiving 18 resignations in just under 24 hours. But this was confirmed by UK-based news site, which said the resignations stemmed from Prime Minister Johnson's decision earlier this year to appoint Chris Pincher as the treasurer of Her Majesty's household, also referred to as the Deputy Chief Whip. With the crisis commenced following the abrupt resignation of Chancellor Rishi Sunak and Health Secretary Sajid Javid, which came minutes apart. Well, in his letter of resignation, Javid stated that a confidence vote showed that a large number of Conservative Party lawmakers had lost trust in the Prime Minister.
I have completely focused on governing effectively over the last year. But treading the tightrope between loyalty and integrity has become impossible in recent months. And Mr. Speaker, I will never risk losing my integrity. I also believe a team is as good as its team captain, and that a captain is as good as his or her team. So loyalty must go both ways. The events of recent months have made it increasingly difficult to be in that team. It's not fair on ministerial colleagues to go out every morning defending lines that don't stand up and don't hold up. It's not fair on my parliamentary colleagues who bear the brunt of constituents' dismay in their inboxes and on their doorsteps in recent elections. And it's not fair on Conservative members and voters who rightly expect better standards from the party they supported.
Well, Javid also said he was deceived by senior officials from within the Prime Minister's office related to the controversial story surrounding government parties during the COVID-19 lockdown. He said he gave the administration the benefit of the doubt, but has now come to the realization that enough is enough.
When the first stories of parties in Downing Street emerged late last year, I was personally assured at the most senior level by my right honourable friend's then team that, and I quote, there had been no parties in Downing Street and no rules were broken. So I gave the benefit of doubt. And I went on those media rounds to say that I'd had those assurances from the most senior level of the Prime Minister's team. Then we had more stories. We had the Sue Gray report, a new Downing Street team. I continued to give the benefit of the doubt. And now this week again, we have reason to question the truth and integrity of what we've all been told. And at some point, we have to conclude that enough is enough.
Well, in an interview with UK-based news agency Telegraph, Prime Minister Johnson admitted that it was a bad mistake to appoint Pincher, despite being aware of misconduct allegations against him.
Yes, I think it was a mistake, and I apologise for it. I think in hindsight, it was the wrong thing to do. I apologise to everybody who's been badly affected by it, and I just want to make absolutely clear that there's no place in this government for anybody who is predatory or who abuses their position of power.
Did you want to joke, though, Pincher by name, Pincher by nature?
Well, what I can tell you is that if I look at the background of this and why I regret it so much, is that about 3 years ago, there was a complaint made against Chris Pincher in the Foreign Office. The complaint was cleared up. He apologised. It was raised with me orally. I was briefed on what had happened, and you know, if I had my time again, I would think back on it and recognise that he wasn't going to learn any lesson, and he wasn't going to change.
Well, viewers, the debacle is only the latest to hit Johnson, who last month narrowly survived a vote of no confidence triggered by similarly shifting stories about lockdown-breaking parties in government offices. Well, viewers, that's it for today's news roundup. Be sure to follow us for daily updates at 284media.com and like us on Facebook at 284media and 284BVI on Instagram and Twitter. I'm Kamal Haynes, and I'll see you again tomorrow. Have a good evening.
You must have cut fun topic.
It's okay, I'll take care of it.
What? No man to take care of me.
How may I assist you?
Yes.
You want top of power?
You want top of power?
Join the prepaid party with CCT and enjoy more affordable data plans, more top-up promotions, more savings with hero bundles, and more value for your money each and every Tuesday with Top Up Turn Up Tuesday. Visit a CCT store today or anywhere CCT Top Up is sold and top up your phone.
5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. You want top of power?